Hey everyone, it's Angela Allen from the Handmade Homestead. Let's make some easy, economical, and satisfying homemade, recycled, upcycled crayons. First, gather up all of the spent, broken, unloved, and forgotten crayons that you can find. You're going to soak them in some warm, not hot, soapy water. I put just a little bit of dish soap in it. And let them soak for a while. You want to loosen up all of that paper and you want to clean off all the debris. You're going to soak them until the paper slips off easily. Now some of them, the paper will just push right off easily like this one. But you'll find some crayons that paper is going to be kind of stubborn. So if you get one like this green one here that it doesn't come off easily, just toss it back in the water, let it soak for a little bit longer, and keep working through them. Sooner or later that one will slip off too, and you'll be able to get them all freed from the paper and clean. Once you do that, you're going to air dry them or pat them dry, but you do want to make sure that they're thoroughly dry before you work with them any further. At this point, you can break some of them up in chunks if you want. Big chunks, little chunks, it's totally up to you what size you want. That determines how much of that one color you'll get in a specific area of each crayon because we're going to melt them. I can't always break them all up. Some are harder to break than others, but that's okay. Sort them however you want. I like to sort mine in color families. I don't worry about exact colors, but you can do whatever you want. Once you sort them all through, then I come up with the mixtures that I want to be able to melt together for each crayon. Once they're sorted, you can put whatever batch you want. I put them in a food saver bag, frankly, because they're tough, and I break them up with a mallet. That makes it fast and really easily done. And then I add the crayon pieces right to my molds. I use silicone molds. You can use a metal muffin tray, but you would have to grease that first, and then the crayons get kind of greasy. You don't have to grease a silicone mold. Put the crayon pieces in. You're going to bake them in the oven until they're fully melted. So that's about 280 to 325 degrees, probably 15 or 20 minutes. But you want to watch them careful, and this should always have an adult present. Please don't let your kids do that. That melted wax is extremely hot. And remember, candles are made from wax. Paraffin wax is very flammable, so you want to make sure they don't get too hot. Once they're out of the oven, you're going to let them cool completely and then just press them out of the mold. I really like this particular mold. It's made for little bundt cakes, but they make a nice, chunky, thick crayon. It is perfect for toddlers all the way up to big kids. They're not easily broken, they last forever, and that little hole in the middle really does help a toddler kind of grab a hold of that crayon to work with it. They're just perfect for little kids, I think. Now I did keep one aside so that I could show you how it works when you color with it. Every crayon has multiple colors because I've put multiple chunks of color in there, and they're kind of all blended together. This happens to be a brown crayon. It's got black and orange and yellow and red and pink and even purple in it, and you'll see some of that when I start coloring with it. They're super easy to get a hold of and to hold on to, especially for small hands. Now, just like a regular crayon, if you color lightly, you're going to get light color, and you can see this is like a light purple on that part of the crayon. If I turn the crayon slightly, I draw again, and I've got this very light pink color. I'm not the world's best doodler, so forgive my lack of art skills. Yet another part of the crayon, and you can see that's black, coming out in black. So there are many, many colors in each crayon. That makes them a lot of fun. And like regular crayons, the more pressure you put on them, the more color you get. And you can see as I'm scribbling there that each part of the crayon gives you multiple colors. So they're really enjoyable to use. They're always a surprise. They make great gifts, great party favors. And they're very safe. They're non-toxic, paraffin wax and colorant. So you can make your own, which is economical and easy to do. I do sell them in my Etsy shop as well. For those of you that don't want to make them, there's my Etsy contact. You can just check them out there if you want. The Handmade Homestead can be found on TikTok, YouTube, and Instagram, and we look forward to seeing you there. Remember to like and subscribe. It helps so much, and we appreciate your time.